Alrighty, we should be live. If you're just now joining us here, we are about to get started with a significant tornado outbreak here across the middle portion of the country. We have a high level 5 out of 5 risk for severe weather, including portions of the Midwest here. So this is going to be one of the most dangerous severe weather situations that we're going to see all year long. And again, this is the highest level of severe weather that we get, which is again a level 5 out of 5 high risk here, extending all the way from southern Illinois down into portions of eastern Arkansas. But here you go. I mean, you got multiple tornado warnings already, and storms are just now entering the moderate risk area. So we have a long night ahead of us. We do even have some prefrontal cells out here into portions of western Tennessee. I believe Levi is actually chasing these right now. We have been seeing some strong tornadoes. Earlier today, we did actually have a PDS tornado in the St. Louis, Missouri suburbs. I do have a good friend, Lucy. She did actually have to take shelter, but that was a very large and very strong tornado there. So we are just now getting started with our outbreak. We have, again, a long way to go with already seeing some prefrontals and then that main line of again, severe thunderstorms and tornadoes about to move through, but we're going to be here for as long as possible. I will have to go just before 7 Eastern, so again, 6 Central for baseball practice, but if needed, we will be back even later today, so we might have to do a double stream, but it's all good. But don't worry, because we're going to be here for as long as possible. So thank you all for joining me here on this Wednesday afternoon here. What's up, Corrupted Lucas Afton? But again, big time severe weather outbreak and tornado outbreak underway here. And this is actually the same cell that did produce that large tornado in the St. Louis suburbs. It is now crossing into Illinois here. With, again, still some tight rotation. This is north of Festus, Missouri. Make sure you're getting in your safe spot in your shelter, south of Arnold. And you got to keep in mind, this is one of those areas that that did get hit by severe weather in the past. Obviously, the March 14th tornado outbreak was absolutely incredible. So we really want to stress the situation as much as possible for these areas so that we don't see something like that happen again. But again, your area of rotation is near Kimswick, Pevely, and Volmayer out here in Missouri. So if you are in this area, please make sure you're getting to shelter. Again, this is the same cell that did produce the PDS tornado near DeSoto. And we do have another tornado warning here for Ironton, Iron Mountain Lake, and Fredericktown. So again, radar indicated, but still some tight rotation going on there. And then another one down here near West Plains, an area that, again, has been devastated by tornadoes over the past couple of weeks here. This is near South Fork and Brandsville. So that's really all we got as of right now. And then a couple tornado warnings. These are our prefrontals that are actually in our high-risk zone. So basically this just shows us where we have the best environment for severe storms here. I'm probably going to keep the stream just myself for the most part. I know we do have some technical difficulties while on call with the boys, and so I just really don't want to run into that problem. So I think we're just going to keep it at myself right now, nothing personal, but I really want to make sure that this is the most, the smoothest stream possible, just because of how big this day is. And then we have another tornado warning here. This is for Cotton Plant, Augusta, and McCroy, out here in Arkansas, so make sure you are getting to shelter. And then downtown Jackson, Tennessee is also under a tornado warning. So this is your area of rotation right here. It's going to be coming up into Jackson here in just a moment. Yeah, a lot of these storms, if not all of them, are going to be rotating. In fact, there's a second couplet coming up behind it near Whiteville. So this storm has multiple chances of producing a tornado. Even if the northern one fails, we have another one coming up. It looks just as intense. Alright, news for your thunderstorm warning. That is going out for areas just south of Memphis, Tennessee. This is for Holly Springs, Sardis. This is going to be crossing Interstate 22, the supercell here. This is for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, right now we have 32 alerts. We have 15 severe thunderstorm warnings, 8 tornado warnings, 4 flash flood warnings, and 5 special weather statements. Alright, we did just get a new tornado watch, so we'll cover that here in just a second. But all of our tornado warnings are currently radar indicated, luckily. Again, the biggest storm right now, just now looking at radar, seems to be the McLean, Illinois, and DeWitt, Illinois storm, which actually I haven't noticed here. But this is really far north, where we actually do have also 2 tornado warnings. North of Empire. The southern one looks to be wrapping up pretty good as it crosses Interstate 74 north of Urbana, which is another area that has seen tornadoes in the past. So velocities are contaminated, but there definitely is some significant rotation going on in there, as the inflow is starting to look much cleaner. But again, none of these are on the ground as of right now, but I think that this storm is definitely starting to produce some stronger winds here near Springfield, so we'll see if we get any reports from this area, but I do think that an upgrade to 70-mile-an-hour winds is possible. But again, this supercell here near Empire is trying to produce a tornado. It's wrapping up really good, and it is producing very large hail, warned for lime-sized hail, and also 70-mile-an-hour winds. So, in terms of overall threat, I think our most concerning cell is this one up here. Again, this is in our enhanced risks, pretty far north. But as far as our tornado threat goes, honestly, a lot of these are pretty similar in just the general threat of producing a tornado here in the foreseeable future. So, yeah, I mean, just pretty terrible stuff that we gotta talk about here, but we just need to make sure that everyone is staying safe out there. Alright, I don't know if they updated the SPC outlook, but if I'm not mistaken, I feel like Jackson was under the high risk. The high risk literally splits the city in half. Alright, news severe thunderstorm warning. Let's check that out. Where is that at? Oh, there we go. Alright, it's up north. This is an extension, or at least a reissuance here of our severe thunderstorm warning for Bloomington. This is for Rantoul, and or actually no, this is the reissuance of the storm that's currently producing lime-sized hail. They have downgraded it to golf ball-sized hail, so still very large hail falling. They do have the tornado possible tag on this, so they likely will let that tornado warning expire. I will say though, the inflow on this thing still looks pretty impressive to me, so I would not be surprised if they reissue the tornado warning. But I guess for safety precautions, they're gonna put on the tornado possible tag. But again, that inflow is very clear. Alright, new tornado warning. This is going out for, this is in northern Mississippi. This is north of Interstate 55. This is our storm that's about to cross Interstate 22. This is for Holly Springs and Sardis. Make sure you're getting in your safe spot. Again, this is the cell that's about to start producing a tornado, or trying to. All these cells just now popping up here, these are your prefrontals. They are very dangerous. A lot of these are going to have the potential to produce strong to potentially violent tornadoes throughout today. So if you're in Sardis, get to shelter. But especially at Holly Springs, this is coming up pretty quickly to you guys. These storms are going to be very fast-moving and explosive in nature, so that's the dangerous part about today. But again, this is moving northeast at 55 miles per hour, so it's not something that we never see, but again, that is pretty quick. So you need to make sure that as soon as you get that warning that you're taking shelter. So again, tornado threat hasn't peaked yet. We still have a long way to go. Really, once this line gets into our high-risk zone, we should be able to, or we should start seeing, that major outbreak kind of play out. Which, again, there is a threat for a little bit of a downtrend, kind of just, well, not a downtrend, but kind of just, I'm not going to use the word bust, because we never really see a bust with a high risk, but like a slightly underperforming event. We'll say that, but that does not mean that you should take this event for granted, because this is one of those days that can also play out pretty terribly, where we see a pretty dangerous scenario. Alright, what's up, Davis? I probably won't call because I've had some technical difficulties recently, and I just don't want to, I don't want to have to deal with that for today's event. But we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going out for southern Tennessee here. This is for portions of Highway 64 near Savannah, Tennessee, and Walnut Grove. This is for the threats of quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. What's it looking like for area tonight? You saw a line, but how severe will it still be? Alright, so I believe you're in northeastern Ohio. Yeah, so I'm assuming you're in the slight risk, so really you're going to get the leftovers of our event. I do think that you will have the potential to definitely see some damaging wind gusts, maybe some embedded tornadoes. I think you are in the 15% threat for severe damaging wind gusts. So honestly, what I'd expect is, some damaging winds and some heavy rain, some lightning. By the way, our tornado warning here for Jackson, Tennessee has been upgraded to an observed. So we have a tornado on the ground, and this is going right through Jackson. So that's really not good. Alright, we did just get another tornado warning, that's up north here. This is north of Urbana, Illinois. They reissued the warning here, expires in 51 minutes. We covered that storm just a moment ago. But again, we need to kind of hone in here on our storm in Jackson, because obviously that's a very populated area, and we have a tornado actively on the ground. Wow, okay, so we actually have a cam right in the path of this tornado. Oh my gosh, dude, I hope that this is going to be able to load. Please come in. I don't know if it's too late, if we didn't connect in time. Yes, there we go. We got it. The cam is up. Alright. This is a live look from downtown Jackson, Tennessee, where we currently have a tornado in progress moving right through here. I am hoping that the camera operator or whatever is noticing this, because it is crucial that this is looking in the right direction. I think it is, but it's coming up from your south there. So again, tornado on the ground moving into the Jackson metro area. There's that velocity couplet. Let's look at CC. Wow, look at all that lightning. Yeah, that could be a little bit of a, maybe a small resemblance of a CC drop. Yeah, we're gonna look and see if we can spot this tornado on this cam here. Again, this is just, this is right in the downtown Jackson metro, and lucky for us, this is right in the path of the tornado, so we'll be able to see. Yeah, look at that. Very light CC drop, but there it is. Yeah, no problem, severe storm filmer. And the warning does also have the threat of golf ball size hail. It's starting to look like it's producing a pretty nice hail core there. Alright, so the cam is starting to get rained on a little bit, so it's right in the path, so we'll have to kind of just sit and wait here. We actually have another cam. This is Denmark, Tennessee. It's currently out. That would be better, because that's, well, actually, no, that's literally just north of the tornado. Oh, we have another cam. This is Madison County 911. I'm not sure if this is looking in the right direction. Oh, there we go. And the camera operator does actually notice. And this might be a little far away from the tornado to see it, but alright, the warning did get updated here from Illinois. Still no tornado on the ground up there. And I'm not sure where Levi's at. I think he's chasing. But I know he's targeting this general area, so I'm just wondering if he's on this storm, if he happens to be on it. But 3 tornado warnings now in and around Tennessee, western Tennessee here. We still do have that tornado warning here for the southern St. Louis suburbs. So again, if you're just now tuning in, just now joining us, we are covering a significant tornado outbreak here across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley, the Mississippi River Valley. We have a high level 5 out of 5 risk for severe weather driven by tornadoes and damaging winds. We also are seeing very large hail. So we're going to be here for as long as we can, and as long as we need to be here to cover all this. So again, let me know where you guys are tuning in from, because it is a big day, for us to know where people are tuning in from, so we know what areas we need to really kind of cover. See, I'm trying to fix that text. I guess we're gonna have to live with that. Alright. Alright, just writing a message here in chat. Alright, there's a little bit of clearing actually on our cam. I don't see a tornado, but it is somewhere in here. Again, there's 640 people watching this one cam. Crazy. Alright, new tornado warning. This is a extension here for a tornado warning just to the east of West Plains, Missouri. This is for Winona. Right along Highway 19, so make sure you're getting in your safe spot. Again, there's a big radar hole out there, so it's kind of hard to tell how intense the rotation is. Alright, new tornado warning. This is for one of our cells up here into Illinois. This is going out for areas, this is just to the east of Springfield. This is for Decatur, which is a populated area. This is along Interstate 77, I believe. Interstate 72, actually. So downtown Decatur, currently under a tornado warning. Orena and Argenta, Illinois. So if you are in this area, make sure you're getting in your safe spot. Wow, that might be a wall cloud, actually. Yeah, look at the wall cloud coming into view here. Again, supposedly there is a tornado on the ground with that storm, but rotation is picking up on our Decatur storm. This is part of our line, currently producing damage winds through the Springfield metro. Inflow is picking up on that as well, though. Alright, news for thunderstorm warning south of St. Louis, Missouri here. This is for parts of Interstate 55. This is for let's see, areas just to the west of Chester, for Redbud, Bloomsdale, and St. Genevieve. Tornado possible tags, 60 mph winds, and quarter-size hail expected. But again, big day ahead. Look at all that lightning as well. We do have a ton of storm chasers on our storm here. Okay, so turns out the tornado has lifted in the Jackson metro area, thankfully. So we no longer have a tornado on the ground. Wow, do you see that bolt? Holy crap. That struck 2 places there. But we have a rotating wall cloud coming into view here. This is in the Jackson, Tennessee metro area. Currently under a tornado warning. Again, we did supposedly have a tornado on the ground just a minute ago, but it is now lifted, I believe. Again, your area of rotation is now entering the Jackson metro. And by the way, the Jackson, Tennessee is actually split in half by the high risk and the moderate risk, which I think is pretty wild. But news for warning just out there for Middleton, Bethel Springs, Boulevard, and Middleton, Tennessee here for 60 mph wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So that's going out for this storm here that just did pop up near Balloon Mountain and Ripley, which I don't know if that is a hail spike or not. I believe that might just be the radar beam going through the storm. If a storm that was scary, you're on your way home, you'll come back when you get there. Alright, sounds good. Yeah, stay safe out there. I'm not sure where you're at, but again, take this seriously. Jean Paul. But yeah, that's the wall cloud from our storm moving through Jackson, Tennessee, which again, it did supposedly produce a tornado. I'm not sure what report it was. But we'll continue to watch it here. Holy crap. Yeah, our PDS was a huge wedge. Wow, and we did just, about 15 minutes ago, a video from Batesville, Mississippi, of a very large cone, likely on the ground. That might be this storm, actually. It's still radar indicated, but I'm wondering if we have a tornado in progress, because that does seem fairly recently. But, I didn't even realize our PDS in Missouri was actually a huge wedge. Which is scary to think. Alright, Noosphere warning. I don't know where that's at. That might be our storm down here in southern Arkansas. Quarter-size hail, 60 mph winds. Or it might be our Shreveport storm. I think it is. Again, quarter-size hail, 60 mph winds with that storm. But, Batesville, Mississippi, we might have a tornado on the ground. I mean, that thing is so close that it's huge. Yeah, it looks like our storm, or our PDS started out as a cone and quickly became a large wedge. Which is pretty unbelievable. Alright, wall cloud's about to overtake us here. PA Storm Trackers is in Ripley, Tennessee, 30 minutes ago. I'm not sure where they're at now, but they are on one of these storms here, so. But this is the storm, that, might have been could have been very close to producing a tornado. Again, the wall cloud has pretty much overtaken us at this point. Alright, so it doesn't look like we have much going on out there anymore. So, tornado warning remains in effect, with golf ball size hail, possible. So, again, we don't know for sure if that was actually on the ground, because that did go observed, but only for a couple minutes there. So, I'm gonna look for reports. I mean, I'm not seeing any videos or anything, but I mean, I didn't realize it was observed until until it went back to radar indicated. So I don't know if it was emergency management or what. Yeah, so there is actually no report of the tornado. So it likely was not a tornado on the ground. Yeah, it didn't look too strong. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going out for, this is our storm that is just outside of the St. Louis metro area. This is for Belleville and O'Fallon. Again, just in the eastern portion of St. Louis. Tornado possible attack, 60 mile per hour winds and hail up to 1 inch in diameter. So, strengthening storm there. We did also get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is south of Memphis, Tennessee here. This is for South Haven, Hernando, and Colorville, I'm not sure how to say that. Let's see. Now it's gone. But quarter size down, 60 mile per hour winds expected. Light rain is now beginning to fall out here in Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is in the path of the storm. Again, I am very worried about this tornado warning here. This is for Holly Springs, Mississippi. This there was a video, again, from this storm of a large cone developing. So I'm actually going to try to find that and send that to Davis and just see what he thinks. Alright, let me see here. There we go. But again, if you're just tuning in, we are covering our major tornado outbreak here across the Mississippi River Valley, so. So the general coverage of these discrete storms it's going to increase. And, oh my gosh. Wow. Look at all these discrete supercells entering the high-risk area. The thing I'm concerned about is because this is so heavily sheared and so favorable for explosive thunderstorms and tornadoes that all of these storms, if they do grow upscale, which they will, and they stay discrete in nature, are going to have the threat of producing strong to violent tornadoes today. That is the number one concern we have for today. So, I mean, that's just not something you want to see, and that's what, it was a question if we were going to see something like that, but I think our question has been answered. Yes, we will see discrete supercells, prefrontals here. It's prefrontals every time it comes down to that. But we're going to be watching these two supercells here as they move to the north. Coming up here from the south. Again, this is your current Storm Prediction Center outlook. We have a level 5 out of 5 high risk in effect here. Also including a moderate risk and an enhanced risk there. This is driven by a 30% hatch threat for tornadoes. So again, significant tornadoes are looking possible. They have also introduced a 45% hatched wind threat here for portions of Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky, which these storms are now just starting to enter that area as well. So the threat will be peaking shortly here. But again, major outbreak underway. And we can go, we'll go hour by hour here. We'll give you guys the hourly outlook as to what you guys should be expecting throughout the overnight hours. So again, this is really where we're at now. We see, obviously, this main line of severe thunderstorms. Now, the NAM didn't show this earlier on, but there are much more prefrontal supercells developing. Look at what happens as we get into the night. All these cells immediately fire right in our high risk area, and keep in mind, all across up and down this line of thunderstorms, you are going to have embedded tornadoes. This is where you're going to have the most tornadoes coming from, the most general amount of tornadoes. Now, the strongest tornadoes, I think, will most likely come from our discrete supercells, but I think a lot of our tornadoes, if not most of them, will come from the main line here. So, that's what we're very concerned about for today. So again, if you're just tuning in, we're covering our major severe weather outbreak and tornado outbreak. Make sure that you are hitting the like and subscribe button, because we need to make sure that this stream is available and out to as many people as possible here. But again, really not something that you want to see. Big wedge tornado did also impact portions of Missouri about an hour ago, near Potosi, Missouri. Multiple videos of a wedge tornado. Alright, they condensed the warning. Still radar indicated. Again, this is the same cell that at one point we did get a video from X of a large cone developing. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going out for, let's see. Where's this at? Oh, this is all the way down to Georgia here. This is for areas north of Highway 82. This is for Ray, Osterfield, and Holt, Georgia. So this is for the threat of quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So make sure you're getting in your safe spot. In your area of rotation on your storm, that's tornado warning here in Mississippi, just south of Holly Springs, it will be crossing Interstate 22. So if you're traveling on Interstate 22, get off the nearest exit and consider seeking shelter in a seek shelter in a substantial building and structure there. Alright, new severe thunderstorm warning as well. This is for, let's see, this is for portions of Missouri here. This is north of Cape Girardeau, for Perryville, Longtown and Corners, Missouri. Quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts expected. And other than our big wedge, the tornado aspect of today, as far as, what this line has been producing, hasn't been a whole lot crazy. Again, that cell was actually fairly discreet at one point. I think that's why we saw the huge wedge. But it really looks like the damaging wind threat is what's taking over with this line here. And as expected, as I did call out earlier, the Springfield line has actually been upgraded to 70-mile-an-hour winds now. And this does actually also have a tornado warning north of Decatur. It doesn't look impressive as of right now, but there is a little bit of inflow starting to kick up there, so I think that's why they issued the warning. And then we still do have our considerable here for Gilman, Chatsworth, Ornaga, Melvin, Paxton, and Gibson City, Illinois here for ping-pong ball size hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So that's when it's starting to get itself together. Alright, a bunch of tornado warnings did just expire here, so now we do have 4 tornado warnings. And 18 severe warnings. Again, our strongest storm seems to be this one here, or actually, I didn't even realize that. Our storm in Mississippi is now upgraded to 70-mile-an-hour winds, I believe. Golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That Gibson City storm did also have the tornado possible tag on it, and there was some rotation going on there, so just keep an eye on that. This is the same storm that's been tornado warned and did have that report of a cone dropping here, so Holly Springs, get ready, get in your safe spot. This is getting ready to cross the interstate here in just a minute. Yeah, still very tight, but strong rotation near Galena, Mariana, and Chillahoma. And that is a discrete supercell. So.
You have a report. There's been some 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts now from it up.
What's up, boys? Just want to pop in and see how you guys are doing.
Yeah, we are mainly watching our supercell in Mississippi right now. The one that video was sent in there from earlier that you sent to the group chat, and the one west of it as well. Both have that classic supercellular structure to it, and they're entering a very tornadically primed environment, so we're going to have to watch these pretty closely.
Did you see that our PDS was a giant wedge?
Yeah. It wasn't a giant... Did I miss something?
It was a big wedge.
I must not be seeing the same video as you guys.
I mean, it wasn't like... I mean, it was big.
Because I see the video of it when it was a kind of a small little wedge. Smaller wedge, just stovepipe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a different video. It's gonna be much more looking impressive.
Dude, we do have a couple new severe thunders from morning. So one of those is going out for portions of Arkansas for Hot Springs for damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, and the other one is going out for a cluster of storms in East Central Illinois for damaging winds up to 70 miles an hour, quarter-sized hail, in case any embedded areas of rotation do develop in our line. In that area, make sure this enforcement. Microburst that right near Cisco.
Do you see that video?
Measured surface here, so.
Alright, so just want to pop in and see how they are doing. But we're back. We have no one watching right now. It is only me. And all the big names are live right now, so that's why viewership tends to lack on these big days. But our storm here near Holly Springs, this is a discrete supercell that we've been watching, is upgraded now to golf ball size hail, so that storm is strengthening a lot, and the rotation there is very tight. Again, we did have that report of a large cone tornado dropping there. We weren't sure if it was on the ground, but this is where the area rotation is, and it's moving right through Holly Springs as we speak, crossing the interstate. So if you're in this area, make sure that you're getting in your safe spot. So this is from Centerville, Tennessee. Starting to see some light rain, gusty winds move through. Alright, Davis did just send a photo or video from our Jackson, Tennessee cam. I believe this is what he was watching, yeah. So, it looks like we have a lowering here on our storm, actually, because this is, yeah, wow, okay, so, we have a lowering on our storm in Jackson, Tennessee. Again, we did have an unconfirmed tornado on the ground just before it moved into Jackson, but your area of rotation is right over the cam, and it matches up with what we just saw. So there likely is a lowering or funnel cloud developing right on top of Jackson, Mississippi. So no confirmed tornado, but golf ball size hail is falling with that storm as well. And they just issued another tornado warning. This is extension. This is for the next hour and 6 minutes. It's one of the longer tornado warnings I've ever seen, actually. But that's going out for McKenzie, Huntington, Clarksburg, Holiday, and Camden. The only reason why they just warned that thing again is because this is going to stay tornadic for a while, and so that's why they can issue these extended, very long tornado warnings, because this is in such a primed environment for tornadoes and so discrete that it's going to have the threat to produce. And by the way, there are so many other discrete supercells firing in Tennessee here. I mean, it's getting pretty concerning right now what we're seeing. Our storm north of Little Rock is now also producing 70-mile-an-hour winds here near Conway. We do have, I believe that's Ethan Moore, actually. No, that's a Cam. It's been knocked out, actually, by these winds. So, likely very strong winds about across Interstate 40 here. So that tiny pocket of winds is indicative of, or a pocket of brighter colors is indicative of stronger winds. Alright, I'm going to be right back, chat. I'm going to grab the charger, but I'll be back down. So I'm going to leave the radar up. Let's do our storm near Holly Springs, because I think this is the closest to producing tornadoes. Alright, Freddie McKinney just went live, so we might use his feed here in just a second. Alright, chat, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, back to our storm here near Holly Springs. It did not go observed. So, still no tornado on the ground. Let me catch up on chat here. Alright, every scan, this thing looks better and better, to be honest with you guys. So again, that area of rotation is crossing Interstate 22 right now. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for the west side of Florence, Alabama here. This is for Cherokee, Smithsonian, Waterloo, Alabama. So 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail expected. Alright, our Jackson, Tennessee storm is not on the ground, but it is still looking pretty impressive there. Look at that. Look, the sun is trying to poke out of the clouds. That is unbelievable. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there was blue sky in some of these areas. Which again, it's just gonna make matters worse. This is our one and only tornado warning, I just realized. So, for a moment here, we may end up with 0 tornado warnings, but that's going to change quickly. So, we did just get a news for thunderstorm warning. This is for south of St. Louis, Missouri, for the threat of 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail up to 1 inch in diameter. So, we have 23 severe warnings now. Well, we'll go through the list. So, our storm up here in northern Illinois, currently producing 70-mile-an-hour damaging winds. We also have a storm down here in Little Rock, currently producing 70-mile-an-hour winds. The rest of these are your average severe warnings, so that's what we got now. We have another storm up here near Champaign, Illinois. This is along Interstate 70, I believe, also producing 70-mile-an-hour winds. And then our storm down here near Lincoln, Arkansas, did also get upgraded to 1.75-inch size hail. So, I mean, the overall severe threat has been increasing. The overall amount of severe storms we've been seeing. But I will say the exact strength of these storms, they haven't been a whole lot strong. So, again, they are just now entering the moderate and eventually the high-risk areas here. So, we'll continue to watch what they do. But, again, this is the second high risk this year, which I think is absolutely unbelievable. Alright, we're going to put Freddie McKinney up because he is live here, so we're going to take off the SBC. And, alright, we're going to go to our Be Right Back here. But we're just going to fix this real quick. Okay. 1 second, everyone. I'm just kind of fixing up the stream here. Pulling up Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney, as he is live. And doing some storm chasing. Alright, we're back. Alright, let me just fix up the Freddy stream and then let me add text so you guys know who that is. Alright. We should be good. Alright, there we go. So, Freddie McKinney is actually on our storm here in the Jackson, Tennessee Metro. This is a storm that we've been watching for a little while by now. Just gotta fix one thing real quick. There we go. We do have a mess of severe warnings here for Little Rock. Oh my gosh. There are 3 severe warnings, and I think all of them are considerables. Or 2 of them, at least. Alright, there we go. But this is the storm entering Little Rock right now. Again, the damage threat for this is 70 mile-an-hour winds. There's not the tornado possible flag, but look at that. Little pocket of strong winds localized right there. It's going to be hitting the radar site, which this is actually very crucial. So... Wow. Alright, so we have the latest mesoskill discussion. Now, I'm not exactly sure when this got issued, but this is the very latest meso discussion here. 4 portions of our high risk. This is 4-hour cells that are currently becoming discrete. So multiple discrete storms showing signs of intensification. Environment will support strong to intense tornadoes in this corridor over the next few hours. So they do have the 155 to 190 tag for the max probable peak intensity. And then again, they do have the 90 mile per hour tag as well for that wind threat. And then hail up to 3.5 inches in diameter. So strong to intense tornadoes are going to be possible within this area. So, yeah. That's what we're going to be watching here over the next hour or so. Alright, but if you're just now tuning in, we are covering our major tornado outbreak here across the Midwest. We don't have too much activity as of right now. We are kind of just watching a couple severe warnings here and there. But north of Donovan, Missouri, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning there. Doesn't have a tornado possible tag, but 1-inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds expected. Missouri, we did just get a new. Retamer is in the Dominator right now.
It's thrown us, I guess, yeah, actual tornado warning is closer to the western Kentucky radar. But yeah, definitely some interesting rotation there near Mount Gilead.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Are there any storms in particular that you think might have a tornado, like an imminent tornado threat?
Not an imminent tornado threat. I'll get back to you, but W6 for another $2 donation. Spam up those W-Sams in the chat. Thank you so much. That's very significant in the future. I don't disagree with you. Much Sam for the $2 donation. Yeah, no storms with a super tornado. We'll say the Arkansas storm is warned for baseball-sized hail. So.
Oh wow. Do you think the event is playing out as expected so far?
I mean, it's hard to say yes because this was high risk, but like I'd say it's still slightly underperforming, but
yeah.
We do have a new thunderstorm warning for Vandalia and Greenville, Illinois. If you're in this area, maybe moving indoors, it's 60 possible. Getting horrible. This area.
Again, that storm here near Star City, Grady, and Gold, Arkansas, now warned for baseball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. If we look at the vertically integrated liquid, you can see it is maxed out in a pretty good swath here, about 7 miles wide. So again, big-time hail falling with that storm.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that hook echo, dude.
On the former Tennessee.
Star City.
Yeah, it's definitely developing some inflow there. I would not be shocked for them to give this a tornado warning any minute. It doesn't even have the tornado possible tag on the severe warning.
Kind of surprised.
So if you're in Star City, you can make moving indoors and away from windows as well as great and yeah. But again, I'm going to take a break here relatively soon for myself. And again, I've also been live for about 2.5 hours. Not 2.5 hours, but about 2 hours. But there's not a guarantee that we're going to come back else too significant. Because while again, yes, we are watching for a very significant wind threat over. I mean, we're really kind of getting to the end of the time frame. We're going to have that potential for discrete. So if something's going to happen, it's got to be soon.
Yeah. Alright, I'll check back in later, but I think I'm going to head out. See ya. Alrighty. So again, that storm in Arkansas did actually end up getting upgraded to now baseball-sized hail. North of Monticello, south of Pine Bluff for Star City, Grady, and Gold. What's up, Dominic? And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, because we are trying to get this stream out to as many people as possible. I will say, the overall tornado threat hasn't been that high recently. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I mean, you guys have seen what we've been talking about for the past couple minutes. The only other really intense, tornadic activity was our PDS in Missouri. Now, yes, that was very significant. But we only had a couple of tornadoes during the early morning hours, which again, and the afternoon, which was that early morning convection, which is now pretty much gone. So as far as our discrete supercells go, the only major tornadic activity we've seen is our Jackson storm, and with our possible tornado down into Mississippi. Other than that, we really haven't seen much. So that's a good thing. So, things haven't been a whole lot, they haven't been too exciting recently, for a weather geek standpoint here. Wow, so, rapidly rotating wall cloud near, Bossier, Louisiana, or, I'm not sure if it's Bossier. I think it's Bossier, though. So I believe this is our storm near Shreveport, actually. Yes. So, pretty significant lowering there. About halfway to the ground. Again, a PDS tornado watch is in effect. What's up, Jesse? How's it going? Are you live, dude? Hey, you are live. But, yeah. So, I reported rotation here and lowering thunderstorm near Shreveport, Louisiana, so we'll keep an eye on that. So, our Pine Bluff, Arkansas severe thunderstorm, which was previously warned for baseball-sized hail, has now been downgraded to tennis ball-sized hail, I believe. But do not let your guard down if you are in the path of this storm, because this is still a very considerable damage threat. And there we go. They did just warn the storm in Louisiana. We'll get to that in a minute. We have a tornado on the ground in northern Illinois. I just realized this is for Greenville and Vandalia and Ramsey. We have a tornado on the ground. This is observed. I'm not sure how that is observed. Let's see. Law enforcement reported a tornado. So this is north of Mulberry Grove. I mean, the radar coverage is... I mean, there's basically nothing out here that really we can look at this with. So... But again, if you're just tuning in, we have a tornado on the ground approaching Vandalia, Avena, and Ramsey, Illinois here. It is so hard to tell, but that might be a CC drop. I really doubt it. I mean, I'm 99% sure that it's not a CC drop. But it does line up with our velocity couplet, and we have a reported tornado on the ground. So, if you told me that that was a CC drop, I would not call you crazy. I'll say that much. But, as we said, they did warn that storm in Louisiana, where we did get that, photo of a lowering. This is for Houghton, Doyline, Dixie, Inn, and Minden. So again, that supercell is moving just to the north and east of Shreveport, Louisiana. Significant rotation developing. Alright, tornado continues. Our tornado warning continues for our Pleasant Mountain and Greenville storm. Again, tornado on the ground according to, let's see. Was it emergency management? Law enforcement. But, yeah, it's going well, Jesse. I don't know if you're still here. Yeah, wow. Okay, so, that is actually definitely on the ground. Looks like they just warned it. Let's see. Alright, let me pull this up, actually. We're gonna just go ahead and do that. So again, tornado on the ground heading towards Greenville, Illinois. This is the tornado. Let's get this thing to load, hopefully. You know what? It's not gonna want to do that. This is the tornado. It looks like a tiny rope, but it is on the ground according to Jared Stretter. So, that is not my photo. That is courtesy of Jared Stretter, but, observed tornado, likely ripping north of Mulberry Grove. Again, the radar coverage is horrendous out here. This is a very, problematic, radar. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. I don't know why, but Radar Omega was not allowing us to use the correct radars, but we're back. Alright, so hopefully velocities are better. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so that's your tornado right here, Mulberry Grove. That couplet is looking strong there. So right in here, this is where your tornado is at. Gosh, I don't know why it's doing that. And wow, that actually is a pretty decent CC drop. By the way, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Centralia and Salem, Illinois. Tornado possible tag. Does a quarter size scale, 60 mile/h winds with your damage threat. Still got a CC drop north of Mulberry Grove, but it looks like the tornado is starting to lift here. So we likely had a brief tornado touch down. Again, on the 624 scan there it was. It's near Smithboro. Actually, yeah, that did get very deep for a second. So it looks like this has actually been on the ground for quite a while. Yeah, right, just south of Pocahontas, it touched down, and then looks like it went right through Greenville, and then did some damage, and that's what caused the CC scan to kind of brighten up there. So as of right now, it looks like we could have some debris fallout here north of Mulberry Grove, Illinois, but that's what we got as of right now. But, wow. It's impressive because this is very far away from the radar site, so if you're traveling on Interstate 70 near Mulberry Grove, Illinois, make sure you're getting into a safe spot. We still do have our tornado warning, actually, or I guess this is new, but this is north of Doniphan, Missouri. For Grandin, Elsinore. It is radar indicated, but looks like we might have some rotation going on here. Yes, a significant rotation near Grandin. So it's gonna be approaching Poplar Bluff, or actually just to the north of there. Alright, they did just I think they warned a separate, yeah, so we have a new, supercell, trying to produce a tornado here south of Jackson, Tennessee, so buckle up. I mean, if you guys are emerging your safe spot from south of Jackson, you should get right back in there. Because it looks like we've got another area of rotation, which is actually starting to look a little bit more significant here near Lagrange, or Lagrange, I think it's Lagrange. But moving up towards Boulevard, Hickory Valley, and Van Buren. This is an area that we literally just talked about not too long ago. Now we're up to 51 alerts, with still a tornado on the ground in Illinois. I'm pretty sure Aaron Jajak is on that right now. It's hard to tell. I think that is definitely contamination, but we could have a developing tornado here. So I'm gonna tune into his stream real quick and just see what he's got, just in case. And I think actually Freddie McKinney might be on this storm. Let's see. Yeah, it's starting to wrap up a lot. Alright, Aaron's feed is cutting out. So, I'm trying to connect here. We do actually have a cam right in the path of this storm. I just realized. This is in Boulevard, Tennessee here. And this is starting to capture some lightning, so we could pull this up. Again, this is where your storm is coming from, where you see that dark mass. But this will come into view shortly. We have another cell coming up behind it near Moscow, actually. That is starting to rotate, I believe. Yeah, look at that. But again, Grand Junction is where you've got your area of rotation with this. We have a lot of chasers on this storm, so we'll be able to get a good idea of if this does touch down or not. Alright, let me see what Freddie McKinney's got on his stream. Oh, wow, yeah. Okay, so, above my head, we have Storm Chaser Freddie McKinney. He is giving us, a view of, what is going on, with our storm here near Lagrange. Let me see, actually, where he's at, specifically. That doesn't want to work. He's in Huntington, Tennessee. You know what? He might be on our northern storm. And they just did warn the area of rotation to the west of our other tornado warning here. This is for Moscow, Somerville, Whiteville. Please get to shelter there. We no longer do have a tornado on the ground in Illinois, so as expected, that did lift. But I am kind of worried about our storm near here, Hickory Valley. We did actually get a 90-mile-per-hour wind report from Latham, Illinois, or Latham. They estimate, so the fire department estimated wind gusts up to 90 miles per hour. So I'm wondering if that's enough to warrant an upgrade to a destructive, because I don't believe that is destructive yet. That's storm there. Let's see. Yeah, so still considerable for Champaign and Vermillion, Illinois. And we still do have tennis ball size hail, or I believe tennis ball size hail falling near Woodruff, Prairie, and Monroe, Arkansas. And so yeah, that's about it. Okay, yeah. So Freddie McKinney's on this storm. He's in Huntington, Tennessee. So he's showing us the view of our northern storm that is tornado warned. Yeah, this game is getting rocked. Wow. Look at that. A lot of wind there, near Huntington, Tennessee. Alright. So, I unfortunately do have to end off stream. I do have baseball practice, and I do have to eat dinner. So, what you guys need to do is, if you do get a tornado warning tonight, you need to take that seriously. You need to get in your safe spot. Even though it's not looking too active right now, all of these discrete supercells are going to have the potential to produce tornadoes. So please do not underestimate the threat. There will be more tornadoes today. And once I do get back from baseball practice, if needed, we will obviously go live once again. But please make sure that you are taking this event very seriously. And before I end off, I just want to note that our Moscow, Tennessee cell is now producing 70 plus dBz's. So very large hail falling with that storm. So again, please stay safe out there. I hate to end off stream, but I do need to eat dinner and then go to baseball practice. So I'll be back later today if needed for that significant wind threat and tornado threat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank y'all for coming to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.